really striving to be better and do better than the day before. What's going on, world? It's your girl Emmy here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm just gonna get right to it because I'm not feeling the best. But this is the Mars series. This video we're going over Mars in Virgo. So just to get you familiar with what Mars represents in astrology, Mars is the planet of action. It's the planet of determination. It's your drive, your energy when it comes to getting things done and how you get what you want. Mars energy is all about your motivations, action, determination. There is an element of sexual energy as well to Mars. It can show like how you are in love or how you act in love, as well as like what you're attracted to. So now that you have a better understanding of what Mars represents in astrology, let's just go into the next sign, which is Virgo. So a Virgo Mars is one that is very practical, very grounded, very reserved. They probably have like a low-key demeanor depending on the rest of their big three. Very observant of other people, especially new people when you first meet them, very like just analyzing them. Virgo rules the sixth house. The sixth house is all about day to day. So these are definitely type of people who plan their day, are very detail oriented. They're probably even, they're just really striving to be better and do better than the day before. So yeah, this clearly would make them a bit of a perfectionist. They definitely are perfectionists. They definitely believe, everything in their home or whatever, everything probably has a place and a purpose. Everything goes where it belongs. They pay attention to detail. They also probably have a really good eye when it comes to paying attention to detail, or just like name brand things, or just like a good eye of like what would go together color scheme wise, interior design. So you may have some sort of design interest possibly, or just even like really enjoy like puzzles, just that kind of like plugging in of things, if that makes sense. Like I mentioned, it rules the sixth house. The sixth house is all about your daily life and your health. They're probably very you are very goal oriented people, and having structure is really important to you. Having some sort of routine, some sort of to-do list, checklist for the day, for the week. You might just notice that you operate a lot better or a lot smoother, get more things done when you are planning your day out like such. So I did kind of touch on being highly analytical. They're perfectionists. They're known to be nitpicky. That is a con of theirs, but they're also very hard on themselves. They're harder on themselves than they are with anybody else. When they're being nitpicky to people, it's not that they're trying to be rude. It just like they just know what would make you better, or in their mind what would make something better. So sometimes what they say could come off kind of rude, like, oh, I see you got a haircut. Like, oh, I liked it long better. Like things that are just like, it doesn't make sense, or like you might make little comments like that could offend people, but you don't mean it like that, if that makes sense. Even though they can be nitpicky on other people, they're very hard on themselves. They strive for this idea of perfection, or making themselves perfect, or having perfect people around them, because they're very picky with who they keep around them, especially dating. They're just very hard on themselves. They're very hypercritical on themselves to a fault. So I did mention that they're picky about the people they keep around, but at the same time, if you hit enough of their checks, or like if you hit enough of the boxes and you have certain areas that they don't really like, they'll probably like try to change those areas to make you better. They really think they're the one that has a say on making people better or things better. That's definitely a thing with them. Yeah, so they might, I don't want to say they'll make you their project, but they will try to like change those areas if they don't. Those little things that bother them, they'll try to change it, versus just like accepting like this is just who you are or how you are. So yeah, maybe you're someone that needs help with self-improvement, or needs help with somebody like making sure that you stick to whatever goals that you make for yourself. A Virgo would be good with that, because good or bad, they're good at pinpointing what doesn't belong in a positive way or a negative way. They're ruled by the digestive system, like the stomach area. So, breaking things down, which is what the stomach does, digesting food and turning it, processing what is energy and what is going to be waste. Like Virgo just has that kind of mind of like, okay, this is good, this is bad. Even though Virgos are so critical, they have a very hard time accepting criticism. So that's the irony of a Virgo. Being that it rules the stomach, the sixth house also has an element of health to it. So these are probably very health conscious people, or might be just into some sort of mind body practices. You might be vegetarian or vegan, or have been in the past, or curious about cleaner ways of eating. You might, do meditation, yoga, detox on a, do some sort of health detox, like to work out, things like that. Because of the health element, like you want to look good and you want to feel good. So like there's that. But at the same time, Virgos tend to have sensitive stomachs. So that could also be something that might make you curious of like what is upsetting your stomach and how to eat better, if that makes sense. Okay, so they're ruled by Mercury, so is Gemini. So Virgo and Gemini are like the opposites of each other, on the opposite spectrums of Mercury, in the sense of Mercury. So being that it is ruled by Mercury, they don't like to sit still. Their mind is always racing. They like to have busy schedules. They feel better when they have busy schedules, or, just more things that are on their day-to-day tasks. They have a lot of energy. They like to do a lot of things. It's just that they can't wing it like a Gemini would. Gemini would just go out there and wing it and do all the things and make it happen. Where a Virgo can do that, it just needs preparation and it needs a plan. I guess I kind of touched on this already, but they like to present well, good hygiene. They're very hygienic, look very clean. So they expect that in you as well. I would say that they're not very vocal with their feelings. These are people who are probably act of service type folks. They want to show you that's their sign. They're the maiden, right? So yeah, the sixth house also rules, it has an element of service. So, so they hide how they feel, and they won't really say it until they know it's reciprocated. They're also not the type to be very like lovey-dovey or very affectionate. They're going to show you their care for you by acts of service, by, those little things that support you, that it's the acts of service type things, right? You also do need to be able to stimulate them mentally. Mental stimulation is really important to them as well. But they are very sexual, and they do have a lot of sexual energy as well. So I don't know if I talked about cons. I know I mentioned that they're pretty nitpicky, just focusing on what's wrong, being hypercritical on what's wrong and not focusing on the positive, especially when it comes to themselves. They can be overthinkers. They can be very anxious. So if you maybe even have like body dysmorphia or something that makes you feel very self-conscious in your body, you might like hyperfixate on that, or just might be stressed out about a situation, you might hyperfixate on that as well. But like just constantly thinking of ways to either hide that thing or change it, remove it, get it out of your system, whatever it is, you hyperfixate on that. Oh, also, I think I kind of touched on this, but like you see people as projects, like fixer-uppers. So like clearly in your mind, nobody is as perfect as you. Try to help them by upgrading them in whatever that means in your mind. So yeah, that's kind of everything that I have for a Virgo Mars. Please let me know if I forgot anything. If you have a Virgo Mars, sorry if my energy was kind of low. I'm a little tired. I just wanted to get this out there. But just remember, Virgo Mars, we are perfectly imperfect. Yeah. See you later. The next video will be in Libra. Okay, bye.